We turn now to our regular feature, Jeffry Kares, in which our chief correspondent, Jef De Bates, investigates the story behind the story. Today, Jef investigates the current situation in northern Transcona, the area known as Lakeside Meadows, where residents' yards are being dug up at their own emotional expense.
Say tomorrow, but that's one of the frustrations with this.
From 1911 to 1976, the Domtar plant in Transcona treated railway ties and telephone poles using creosote and other chemicals. In 1976, the plant closed, and the land was sold to real estate developers who wanted to expand their neighborhood, Lakeside Meadows. The plant hit several snags, however, and the land was never developed, and to this day it remains an eyesore in an otherwise fine neighborhood. In 1995, Domtar bought back the land from the real estate developers and have struck a deal with the Fort White Center to remediate the land and turn it into a wildlife sanctuary, or a bioreserve.
Hello, this is your reporter, Jeffry De Bates, or as I'm known to the ladies, the Maestro of Love. Anyways, this road, Gun Road, is not a very useful road. It's made of gravel, it produces more than its fair share of dust, and it leads basically nowhere. However, it serves as a back lane to most of the houses on Lynn Lake, the most affected street of Domtar. There was a drainage ditch that went along this road, some of it is still there, and all the creosote from Domtar went down the drainage ditch and seeped into the ground. Now, all the backyards of these houses, swimming pools, patios, trees, swing sets, all of it has to be dug up. Now I know you're asking, why? Is this the latest fad? Or did they find out these trees cause herpes? The answer is no. The creosote from the leakage from Domtar that went down the drainage ditch seeped into the ground and contaminated. Now all the backyards are contaminated.
Just when residents thought the nearby Domtar wood preservative site had been cleaned up, they discovered some of the creosote contamination had spread all the way to their backyards.
It was found that some 35 individual property owners had been affected by that historic contamination moving off the site.
The old site has been cleaned up, but over the years, some of the creosote got into a drainage ditch and flowed west. Then these houses were built on top of it.
This material migrated from the original site, which is about 600 to 800 meters away from this point. It was very dilute. In fact, it's very low risk.
What the hell?
Jeffry De Bates reporting. Is this your pool?
Yes it is.
Let me give you a gift.
I purchased this pool in 1996.
And this land is infected with Domtar, is it not?
Yes, tragically it is.
So they're going to have to dig up your pool?
Yes, come tomorrow there shall be no pool.
Now, this pool was a source of great fun for you, was it not?
For many years, yes. I was hoping to pass it on to my great-grandchildren.
Tragedy, is it not, that a pool has to be dug up that was supposed to be passed on to his great-grandchildren? Residents of Lakeside Meadows, what exactly happened to your yard?
Well, from what we understand, I guess we live adjacent to the Domtar site where they would have produced creosote in regards to preserving logs, railway ties, etc. And some seepage from the actual factory has contaminated our backyard.
When did you first find out your backyard was contaminated?
Actually, it would have been earlier on in February of this year. What happened was they did some ground hole testing just behind the fence line, and then they asked permission to come into our yard, which I guess was done in March. And I guess they would have started remediation here about 2.5, 3 weeks ago.
And how has the company treated you so far?
They've been excellent about it, very professional. I hold no grudges against Domtar. The people we've been dealing with, again, kind of not the cause of what transpired here, and they're working with us professionally to get it all cleaned up.
Now, when do you think about will be finished?
Well, I'd like to say tomorrow, but that's one of the frustrations.
Discrimination so far away from the initial site, and bad enough to have to dig under a house. You would think the entire neighborhood would be in trouble. This isn't the case. Before official soiling testing began, it was widely suspected this yard, if any, would be affected. It covers more area than any other property in the neighborhood, and it is one of the closest to the field that once housed the plant. Fortunate for the owners of this house, further testing revealed that this property, and every property backing onto the field except the one we showed you earlier, was found to be property owner Adam Oystreck. Adam, you own this land?
Yes, I do.
Now, this land was not contaminated, was it?
No, it was not.
Why exactly?
Well, the plant was just over there, and it only contaminated land directly on the site and on a drainage ditch that flowed quite a bit of way over there.
Now, I noticed that you're missing part of your fence here. Why is that?
Well, our neighbor's yard was being dug up for contamination, and there's laws in Manitoba that say that when you dig a big hole, you have to dig at an angle so if someone falls in, they can easily get out. And to get that angle, they have to dig partly onto our property.
Now, they tested for Domtar, right?
Yes, they did. Right here, as a matter of fact.
Now, I noticed how close this hole is to your neighbor's yard. How close exactly did the contamination come?
Well, obviously pretty close, since they had to dig onto our yard to get that angle, but luckily not close enough to have to actually dig off any of our yard.
Now, how do you feel knowing that your land was not contaminated and so many others were?
Well, I obviously feel pretty lucky. I mean, this close to the plant and no contamination, even though I don't think luck had anything to do with it. Frankly, I think it was all the work of one man, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
For that in-depth report.
You're welcome, Adam.
How has those people who were affected have been affected financially?
Well, they have to go live in a hotel, so obviously there's some problems there. They have to go out and buy food, and they don't have a fridge to store it in, so they have to cook it right there. And they have to go to a restaurant, and there's just several inconveniences. They also have to move away from their work, and so on.
How has the people not directly affected by the digging up have been affected, like in the surrounding areas of Lakeside Meadows?
Well, there's a lot of noise from the heavy machinery they used to dig up the yard. They also use large trucks that aren't of a very high quality. They leave a lot of dirt on the road, and of course there's also the aspect of just like the guy named Adam. He's just squealing, and then the farmer comes out and, well, yada yada yada.
Guys, we're on.
Thanks, Jeff, for that in-depth piece. Good night.
Currently incarcerated in a hotel for at least 2 weeks until they fix his yard. There's contamination under that. How do you feel knowing that the contamination didn't get on your land?
Well, I feel pretty lucky, although I don't think luck had anything to do with it. I think it's all because of one man, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.